what makes a great promoter? From your eyes, you're a great promoter. What makes somebody a great promoter?
You have to have the passion for it.
One.
Okay? You have to be creative. You got to think like a fan. What entertains you? I'm still a fan. I would always say to people, you know, when the show started and I'm sitting there with the judges, I got the best seat in the house and the show goes and I'm creating this whatever, this entertainment that I put in my head. You got to entertain people. Anything pro is entertaining. This show is no good if you don't entertain people.
Yeah.
Why do people watch it? You got to be entertaining. If everybody comes out and does the same thing, it's boring. Nobody ever knew what I was going to do at Night of Champions.
So a sense of surprise, a sense of unknown.
Yep.
You think that's a quality of a promoter?
Part of it.
What else? So far I have passion, creative, entertain, a sense of the unknown.
And
what else?
You got to work all the time. You got to work all the time. I say to promoters, you're promoting a show, every day you got to get something accomplished. When I would run the Olympia, I would give myself goals. I would play games with myself. I would say, okay, this week I'm going to raise $20,000 in vendors and sponsors. And let's say I sign a company for $25,000 on Tuesday. I don't take the rest of the week off. Hey, maybe I could get to $50,000 this week. I'm going to push even harder the last 3 days. I was always competing against myself to make it better. That's why in 2003, you know, let's face it, in 2003, you had, well, let's go back a couple of years. Jay was winning in 2001 after the judging, and Ronnie came back and beat him. And Jay got mad. He thought, I fixed the show against him. I said to him one time, I'm a promoter. I do this to make money. Who's going to sell me more tickets? A big white blonde guy or the big black guy? Come on. Don King told me one time, Don King came to, when we did women's bodybuilding, the women's pumping iron, and he saw I was promoting that thing. He goes, remember one thing, boy? White means green. I knew what he meant. He goes, you know how much money I made off Jerry Cooney fighting Holmes? We all knew Holmes was going to kill him. His boxing skills were so, but they built up Cooney. You get the thing. The audience is 95% white, right? You don't have white guys in the show, this and that. Jay Cutler didn't win in 2001. He was upset, so he didn't compete in 2002.
Let's go back, stay focused. Hang on, because I want to get this out of you. Because I'm trying to get this out of you, because I think it's brilliant what you're saying. Number one is passion.
Yep.
You got to be passionate about what you're promoting. Number two is being creative.
Yep.
You can't think like everybody else and be logical or conventional. Number three is entertain. You got to entertain folks.
Gotta
Number
entertain
four
people.
is the sense of the unknown, some kind of a surprise.
Yep.
Number five, you're working all the time.
Yep.
Number six, you said competitiveness.
You got to compete against yourself to push yourself to succeed.
Okay, how about the next one? Do you think there's a part of it of you choosing the right person to be face of the sport, all of that, or no? You don't think that plays?
I didn't pick the face of the sport.
Meaning Conor is great, I get that, but Conor is great for MMA, right?
Right.
Mayweather was good for boxing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I would pick the guys who I'd put on the poster who would sell me tickets. I'd go to sign up a guy.
So maybe that's pick the marketable guy.
Yeah, you got to pick the marketable guy.
Yeah, I'm with that.
You know, this at Night of Champions. At Night of Champions, we would try to get the year before's overall USA and Nationals winner. That would be their pro debut. I would always say, whoever wins the USA and the Nationals, you turn pro, I fly you into Night of Champions, you're in that show. So the fans knew they were going to see the young upcoming guys here. I would always bring back 3, 4, 5 favorites. People that they knew, you know, that they liked, that the New York audience liked, who were stars, and they liked. I would always bring in an unknown from Europe, okay? So I would fly in, because I would have sometimes 45, 50 guys in Night of Champions. I would pay full expenses for like 16 to 18, and then guys that lived in the area that could drive, I would pay their hotel. I said, you're driving on Friday, I don't want you going back and forth. You stay in a hotel, I'll pay partial expenses. And then guys that I didn't know that wanted to come and pay their way and make their mark, do this. During the judging, the judges would judge 1 to 15, everyone else is 16. At the beginning of the show at night, the ones that didn't make the top 15, they'd come out, depending on how many, 1 or 2 at a time, and do, 15, 20 seconds of posing, and this and that, and then they were done. The top 15 did their full posing routine for the audience. We would start that show at 8:05, we'd end at 10:15 on the button, all timed out. You want the people leaving wanting more.
Okay, that's another one. Okay, so what else? So here's, again, passion, creative, entertain, sense of unknown, work your ass off, compete against your prior best, pick the right person to be the face, like a marketable guy, think like a fan. What you just said right now is people leaving wanting more. Give me one more. I'm going to get one more out of you.
Just having energy to do it. How many miles I would walk in Mandalay Bay going from my room down the elevators to where the convention was, where the theater was, where this was, where that was. You got to do what you got to do.
Give me one of these, man. We're not even done, and I was freaking sick. I got to tell you that was sick. Anybody, no matter what business you're in, you just heard from one of the best promoters in the sport of bodybuilding, which was never a marketable product years ago, to go from doing the most shows. We can learn something from here.